And welcome back to Live Now from Fox. Well, what a moment today out in LA. It was supposed to be the Nick Reiner arraignment, and then a huge switcheroo happening with his defense team. Alan Jackson, the star defense legal attorney, saying, I will not be representing Nick Reiner anymore. Of course, Nick Reiner accused of killing his parents. We want to break all of this down right now with TMZ. Branson Quirky. Wow, how different a day can make, Branson. We were just talking yesterday about a preview and what to expect. We didn't think about this one, though.
Nobody thought this would happen. Now, very, very eventful day for Nick Reiner in court. This morning in Los Angeles, the hearing began at 8:30 a.m. and did not last long. There was no cameras allowed inside of the courtroom, but TMZ did have a couple of reporters inside to observe Nick Reiner and his behavior. We're told by our sources inside of that courtroom that he appeared to be rocking back and forth. At some point, had a smirk on his face. He was smiling a little bit. He seemed very calm, as well as what our source tells us, standing up when Alan Jackson came in to then tell the judge that he is going to be withdrawing from the case. And then at that point, Nick Reiner met his public defender, who is now being named as Kimberly Greene, a public defender in Los Angeles. And then, of course, Alan Jackson held a press conference outside of the courtroom surrounded by reporters, but did not give a reason as to why he decided to withdraw from representing Nick Reiner. He did say that the circumstances surrounding this are completely outside of his control, but he wanted to make a point in this press conference, blatantly telling the cameras that Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. He mentioned that they have been investigating this from top to bottom, all the way back to December 15th on that early morning. They have been spending every waking hour on this. So yes, very shocking to hear that stance from him. As we know, and we have been talking about, that Nick Reiner will most likely plead not guilty by reason of insanity. And then, of course, we heard from Nathan Hochman, the LADA, who then told everybody that he is very confident that the prosecutors will have a unanimous conviction on this murder of the two, Rob Reiner and Michele Reiner.
Yeah, fascinating turn of events already here early on in this process. Branson, is there any speculation right now on why this happened here? I know Alan Jackson, like you said, there didn't want to speak on that fact, but what are people talking about?
I can't really say too much about, exactly why, because we don't know why. There's a lot of speculation, of course, online. People are talking about what the reasons could be. Alan Jackson did not give those officially, but a lot of the speculation online surrounding Alan Jackson is possibly the fact that maybe he looked at the case and it looked like it was going to be very long. As we know, cases like this can take a long time, and maybe he saw an outcome that he did not want to deal with. We don't know. There's a lot of facts here, but again, it's really interesting the fact that he said that Nick Reiner, in his opinion, is not guilty of murder. But you have to look at those words really carefully and take those with a grain of salt, because the way Alan Jackson said that is that that's pursuant to California law. So the way he said it is essentially saying that he's going to plead not guilty by reason of insanity.
Yeah, that's so true, and such a great point there. And I think a lot of people also were looking to the fact of, well, Nick Reiner didn't get another maybe a star power attorney type of caliber, but right now a public defender in the spot. I thought that was interesting.
Well, also, we did hear from the family. They did release a statement as well, saying that they have the utmost trust in the legal process here. They did not comment on this public defender whatsoever, Kimberly Greene. But when you look at the optics of this, a lot has changed. You got the star power celebrity lawyer, Alan Jackson, who has worked on some of the biggest cases in the world, some being similar to this. So now he's got to deal with a whole different road here, and we're not going to see him back in court until February 23rd with that new public defender. There's a long road ahead.
Yeah, and this is just the very beginning, and already some hiccups along the way. Branson, thanks so much for joining us on Live Now from Fox. Always great to speak with you on this big update in court today.
Thank you, Mike.